first step of the setup process is to define who can use your wishlist and how should wishlist button perform on your website. So to do this, we'll go to MC Wishlist settings. From here you can see the general tab. The first box is for display settings. Here you can choose who is enabled to use the plugin and what they will see after clicking the wishlist button. Now, the first option is to define who is enabled to use wishlists. You can set it to all users, everyone can use your wishlist, or you can limit it to people who have logged in to your website. First, let's see how the default settings perform on our website. Here you can see every product has a wishlist button. Let me, from my account, I try to log out here, and now you can see I'm logged out of the website. But still, I can see the wishlist button on every product. This means every visitor on your website can use the wishlist plugin. Now, I want to set the item and limit it to logged in users. Save, and let's see how the wishlist button performs. Okay, let's refresh the website. And let me log out again and refresh. Then you should, you don't see any wishlist button on the products. This means just logged in users can use the plugin. Okay, I'm logging in again to see whether the wishlist button is activated or not. From here, yes. Now I can see the wishlist button, and this means the wishlist is enabled only for signed up users. Okay. Now let's go to the next setting. Here it says what happens after clicking button. It says choose what happens after user clicks the wishlist button. Here we have three options. The first one is to open the pop-up. The next is add to wishlist and do nothing else. And the last one is to add to wishlist and redirect to the wishlist page. Let me try the first option. Let's see how can the wishlist plugin perform. For example, I click on this one, although I don't like the color. Okay, you see a pop-up comes and it says added to wishlist. Well, I want to change the wishlist button performance and try the second item. Just add it to wishlist and do nothing more. Let me save the settings. Okay, let's see how the website acts. Refresh and choose a purse. Definitely not for myself. Okay, product added. You see a notification that shows the product is added to your wish list and nothing else happens. Now let's try the third option. Add and redirect to wishlist page. Okay, let's save again. Okay, now refresh the website and see how the wishlist button performs. I've clicked on this product. You see the product is added and I'm directed to the wishlist page. Okay, let's get back to the settings and let's enable wishlist for everyone, all users, and try other settings. You see, when I change the first item to all users, another setting comes up that says require login or register. Let me check what this is. If you want a comprehensive and accurate analytics section, make the login compulsory. Okay, let's try this. Try it on and see what happens. Save. So let's get back to the website and my account. First, let me log out of the website. Okay. Now see what happens if I click add to wish list. For example, I click this item. You see a pop-up that says you need to log into the website to use wishlist. Okay, let's get back to the settings. And I don't feel this option is necessary, so I turn it off. Let's see what other settings say. This item says remove after second click. What does it mean? Remove product from wishlist on second click. Let's leave it on and see what happens. Refresh the website and for example, I want to remove this. Double click and see what happens. Okay, product removed. This one, yes. This option says that if you double click on every product, it will automatically remove the product. And let's leave it on. I think it's useful. And the last item is show for out of stock. It says by activating this option, the add to wishlist button will be displayed in out of stock products. Let me see whether I have an out of stock product or not. I think this item is out of stock. Let me check. Yes. You see, this is out of stock, but still you can see the wishlist button on top of the product. If I click on the button, you will see that, yes. Let me turn it off and see what happens to out of stock products. Save settings and see what happens to your website. Okay, let's go to home and again let me check the same product. Now you don't see a wishlist button on the product. That means the settings performed correctly. Now I want to show you another amazing option that the MC Wishlist offers. Let's set this option to open the pop-up. Wow, you can see a whole new box appears that contains lots of settings for your pop-up. So let's try these options. It says these settings only appear when you select the open the pop-up. So let's see the first option. What does it say? Specify the position of the pop-up on the website. There are 5 modes and the middle is recommended. Okay. First, let's see what does it mean by middle. Let me refresh and see where does the pop-up shows. You can see this is the page and the pop-up appears right in the middle of the page. Okay, let's close this and try another position. I think this time I want to select down right, and let's see what happens. Refresh and click on this one is out of stock. Let me try this. Now you can see the pop-up comes in another position. So the 5 positions is here, here, this, and the middle. That the plugin says the middle is recommended, so I think let's leave it on the middle. Okay. The next item is pop-up size. See what does it say? Specify the size of the pop-up. There are 2 modes, small and large. I think we saw the large, so let's try the small pop-up and see how does it display. Again, I should refresh the website and see what is the changes. This product. Now you can see the image is gone and pop-up only contains 2 sentences and 2 buttons. Let me close. I think the large one is beautiful, and let's leave it on the large. The next item says use featured image for pop-up. Instead of the default image of the pop-up, you can see the product image on the pop-up box. Let's see what happens if we select featured image for the pop-up. This one actually is the beautiful product. Wow, it looks amazing. You can see the product image appears when you select the featured image. And let's try another one. Yes, I think I like this one. Now, let's see what other settings says. For now, let's turn the featured image off and use the next setting. Here you can add your favorite image to show on every pop-up. So I select add image. I want to upload an image that I've selected. This check, I think this is beautiful. Okay, insert into post, and let's save settings and see what happens to the pop-up. Refresh and let's, wow, I selected every product on the website, so let's remove this and select it again. See what happens. Wow, this seems cool. Now I'm not sure which one looks better, but I think still I'm with the featured image. I think that one is more practical. Okay, let's set the other setting that says pop-up image size. You see you have 4 options here: thumbnail, medium, large, or manual. But there is something that I should mention. Let me show you on the media settings. You see WordPress has default scale for every image on the website. We have thumbnail, medium, and large, and each one has a defined size. So if we get back to the settings and select one of the image size options, to make sure, let's try the manual option and set it to, for example, 500 and see what happens. I believe no changes will happen, although we tried another settings. Yeah, you can see the same image, and let's leave the option to the medium size. That is the default setting, and I like to use the featured image, and looks good. Okay, let's go to the next item. Pop-up title. What does it mean? Select the title of the pop-up. No need to change, and you can use default text. I suppose it says what to show on the first line of the pop-up. I want to change it to like product added. I think this one is good. Yeah. And the next one is pop-up content. What does it mean? Select the content of the pop-up. No need to change. Okay, yes. This means what to show on the second sentence of the pop-up. Let's change this one to, for example, go to wishlist. To see your favorite items. Okay, this looks good. Let's save and see whether the sentences change or not. Let's add this product to my wish list and see. Yep, you can see the first sentence is product added, and the second sentence is what I've written on the settings. Okay, let's get back to the dashboard and try other options. Now we can customize the pop-up button. It says these settings are related to the pop-up button. Okay, let's try a different sentence for wishlist button. I think let's change the view my to go to wishlist. Okay. It looks better. And now we should define the color of the button. The background, I want to set the background color. For example, something maybe a little orange and a little darker, or I think this is good. Okay, let's set the hover color. The hover color should be different. I think we choose a brighter orange. This seems good. Okay, the text color on the orange, the black, shows perfectly, and the text hover on the brighter orange, maybe, I don't know. Black is good. Black is good for the second one. The radius is good, and the button is for wishlist. Okay, let's save and see what happens. Let's get back to the website and click the add to wishlist button. Now you can see the button color has changed, but really I'm not into it. So let's try a different color. Maybe this time a little brighter and the hover color darker. Okay. The text color, let's leave it to black. Okay, let's choose the color of the close button, and after that select the save. The close, I think black and white is the best option for close, but maybe a little gray. This seems good. The background hover, what do you think? I think this one is the darker and better. Okay, the text color black I think is good to be appeared on the gray, and on the hover I think the white shows better on the darker background. And close and save. Okay, let's see what happens. So add to wishlist. Now you can see I think this is better, although it's not the best, but it will work. Okay, now let's try add a new button. I want to add a custom URL. I want to add a link that directs to the MC wishlist documentation. And let's paste the URL that I've copied on the clipboard and paste it. Okay, the color, I think let's try black and white for this one. White, black. The text color, let's try black and white. Okay, let's save it and see what happens after adding a new button on the pop-up. We have this item. You can see the new button, and if I click on it, it will direct you to the URL that I've set. So let's go to the last item and see. It refers to the pop-up box style. This means the total display of the pop-up box. The first one is the background color. The background color should be something a little bright, I think. This one looks good. The border color, based on my website theme, I think red is good. Let's see what happens on the border and the background color. Okay, you can see the border has changed to red, and this is the background color that I've selected. Now I want to change the radius. The radius refers the shape of the edges. Let's change the 8 to 20, I guess. Let's see what happens on the edges. So take a look at here. You can see the intersections have bigger radius, and I think this radius makes the whole display more friendly. We can do the same settings for previous buttons. For example, let's change this to 5. The next one, let's leave it to the same number, and the third one, let's try 10 pixels. Okay, let's see what happens. Remove the product and add it again. Now you can see the buttons have radius too. I think this looks good, and the total display of the pop-up seems nice. And I believe we have covered everything you need in the general tab of the settings, and we learned how to add sign up and login links to wishlist and change the default display of the pop-up button. Today we are here to learn how to design a beautiful wishlist button that looks good in shape, color and position. If you're ready, let's get into it. Okay, to start customizing our wishlist button, we should go to Wishlist Plugin settings. And from there open the wishlist button tab. Here you can see different boxes that are related to product page, or product listings and customizing text and colors and other options. The first box is for single product page. This is your regular product page that people may visit. The first option you should define is the button position. Here we have 10 different options for the wishlist button position, that 4 of them are related to add to cart, 4 of them are related to product image, and there is 2 another that 1 of them is related to product description, and the last one is the shortcode that enables you to locate the button wherever you want. First, let's see the overall performance of the button position. So let's try and see how top left option performs. So let's go to the website and open a single product page. We can see that the top left option locates the button here. Let's change the position and move it to another place on the image. So let me select, for example, bottom right. Let me save the settings and open the website again. Now we can see the position of the button has changed. We can choose 4 different places on the image for the wishlist button. We can locate it here, here, and here. So we can locate it on the 4 corners of the image. And some of the options are related to add to cart. So let's check, for example, before add to cart form and see how the wishlist button performs. So let me save and refresh the website to see the changes. So now it's located here. If this is the add to cart form, the button has moved here. If we chose after add to cart form, it's probably moved here. Now let's move it near the add to cart button. So let me select after the add to cart button. Let's save the settings and refresh the website. Well, now the button has moved here. It seems that this location is better than other options on the single product page. However, we have other options. For example, let me choose after summary. Okay, this means put the wishlist button after the product description. Although if we take a look at the wishlist documentation, it doesn't recommend this location because of a proper reason. Look, if this is the short product description, the button have moved after this. I mean, it's the worst place you can imagine for the wishlist button. So try not to locate the button here. And I think the best places are near the add to cart button or on the product image, because those are the most recognizable locations. And the last option to locate the button is to use shortcodes. It's pretty simple actually. You just need to copy the shortcode and paste it wherever you want and the button will appear there. For example, let me copy the shortcode and go to the product page and edit the product. For example, I want to locate it near the price or near the product title, and I think I should paste it here, and let me update the product information and see what happens. Now preview changes. Well, you can see the button has moved here, but let me be clear. The location of the wishlist button is based on your website theme and the overall design of your product page. But for my website, I think the best place is, I like the after add to cart button. I think the button shows itself more. So let's place it there. Now we have other options. The next option is the button type. Let's see what each type presents. As you can see in the GIF, the first item is icon only. The second option is text only, and the last one is the combination of icon and text. So let's check each item one by one. First, let's try icon only. If we select use theme default, let me enable this and see how does this perform. Let me save and refresh the website. Now we can see the color and shape of the wishlist button has changed. But really I'm not into the color and the overall display of the button, so let me modify the button manually. So I turn the default theme off and we change the option manually. Okay, let's see what do we have here. First we should define the button icon. Okay, we have several options for the icon. We have heart, save, plus, gift and star. That I think there are additional options that may not be very handy. Or we can choose a custom icon and see what we should do. Here the plugin says we should upload an SVG file for the custom icon. It says we should open the SVG file on Notepad and copy the code here. Well, I have an SVG file on my computer, so let's open it on Notepad and let's copy the whole text, then paste it to the box that is related to custom icon. We can see the code is pasted here. Okay, and the next option says also upload the SVG file for the product edit text. Here the plugin enables you to upload a different SVG file for the product edit, but I think it's not necessary and I leave it blank. Let's save the settings and see what happens. Okay, now you can see my custom icon has replaced with the previous button. And now this is our add to wishlist button. But to be honest, I think the plugin has defined useful icons for the wishlist button and the custom icon may not be necessary. I think I'll go with the save icon. Okay, the next option says you should define the icon style. Here we should choose the icon size and color. Well, based on my website's dominant colors that are white and red, I should keep my wishlist button color in a range of red and white. I want to make the background red, so I choose the icon color white. And the hover color that shows when the cursor moves around the button, I'll try red. Okay. And for the background colors, I want to choose red. And I want to choose the background color white or transparent. There's no difference because my website background is white. And also try the border color white. And the border color hover also, let's try red. Let's see what is the outcome. Okay, I think that's not bad. I mean, the color and the shape is okay, but I should make some changes for the position of the button. But based on my website, I think a combination between text and icon will be the best. We'll check it later. For now, let's continue to the settings. Now we should define the button size. Here I think it's better to open the documentation and see what does it say. So we'll check out the documentation. Here it shows what each item represents. The border width is here. And these two options is for the width and height of the icon. And border radius shows the changes here. We can choose a radius for each corner of the icon. And the margin shows the distance from here to here. So according to the documentation data, let's change the border width. I think it's not necessary to choose a large number for the border width, so I'll go with like 3. And for the height and width of the icon, I think based on what we saw previously on the web page, these two options are okay for now. Border radius, let's see the tooltip. Okay, we can define radius for each corner of the button. Well, if we're supposed to have just an icon for the wishlist button, I like to make the button a circle. Let's make the radius 25 for each corner. 25, 25, and for the other corners. This means each corner have the same radius. That makes the button a circle. And finally, what the margin says, it is basically used to move the button, and these four numbers present up, right, down, and left respectively. It means each number shows the distance from the current position of the button. So let's check the current position of the button. Well, I want to move the button a little to the right and also to the up. So let's move the button 3 pixels to the up and also 3 pixels to the right. And do not change the other numbers. Okay, let's see how the button moves. I hope these numbers do not mess up the whole position. Okay, here we can see that our button turned into a circle and the position is almost okay, but we need to move it a little higher. And we can also increase the height and width of the button to make the display beautiful. So let's get back to the settings. So let's first change the dimensions of the button. I want to make this number 55 and the other dimension. And here, to move the button to the proper position, we should change the 3 to the -3. And also change this to, for example, 5. Okay, let's save and see what happens. Well, now the changes are pretty obvious. Although I think yet we can change the numbers more precisely, but let's put away the perfectionism and accept the numbers and the display of the button for now. So let's get back to the options and try different settings. So this time let's change the icon to text. Again, I don't want the default option. Here for the font number you can enter any number you want, but I think the inherit option is good. And for the button color, based on my website theme and that I want to make it look like the add to cart button, I choose the font color white and the hover color, I think red. Okay, the background will be red. Background hover, let's try white, and border also white. Okay, so let's check this out and see what happens. Okay, now you can see the icon has changed to text, but I think we should change it a little. The background and hover color seems okay, but the position should get a little low. So we should define the margin and the distance from the add to cart button. Let's see. For border width, I think this number is okay. And for the height, let's change it to the previous number. That looks same with the add to cart button. And I don't want border for the text because I want it to be same as the add to cart button. But we should change the margins. So I need to make it a little lower. So let me change the -3 to 5 to move it to the down. And let the other items be 0. Okay, now let's see what happens. Okay, I think the total display is okay, but yet we can change background color to be the same as the background of the add to cart button. However, I think this button also looks good and I don't want to change it anymore. But if you want, you can change a total different color for the background. So this was the text only option, and the last one is a combination of icon and text. That I think it's the best option, at least for my website and the theme I'm working with. Okay, let the icon be save and the font size is okay. And the other settings, I think they're okay too. Let's see, the border radius and other options almost have what we want for the combination. And we don't need to change. But here we have a new option that is a separator between icon and text. If we activate this, then we can choose the color that I think white is good. And let's save and see how the separator performs. Okay, this is the final output that I think it's the best option for my website, and I like the combination between the text and the icon. And the position is also recognizable and suitable. Based on your website and theme, you can choose the icon only or the combination and different colors. But if you want to choose the icon only, it's better to enable the tooltip for the button. Here, because we have selected the icon and text, the tooltip is disabled. But if I choose the icon only, you can see the tooltip option appears. If we activate this, it wants to define the position of the tooltip. I think the top is okay. And the color and the background, I think the combination between white and red is okay. And I don't want to change the border radius. Let's save settings and see what happens. So now you can see if you move the cursor around the wishlist button, a tooltip comes up that shows the add to wishlist text. So this was the settings for the product page. Let me again select the icon and text combination. That is the best choice for my website. Okay, now let's go to the settings for product list. First of all, you should define whether you want to show the wishlist button on your products or not. Let me turn off this option and see the effect on the website. Okay, save settings and let's go to the shop page. Well, here you can't see the wishlist button on any product image. This means you should enable the option to show the wishlist button on product list. Now we should choose where to display the wishlist button. Like the single product page, you have several options here too. For example, you can locate the button on the product image or near the add to cart button. Let me select the top left and see how does this show. Well, now you can see the wishlist button has appeared and the position is defined as we selected. Also, we have other options like near the add to cart button. It probably locates here. If you want to see how each option performs, you can check the wishlist documentation. If I show you the documentation for product lists, you can see here for the button position, it shows where each option locates the wishlist button. For example, it could be here or near the add to cart, or even using shortcodes and place the wishlist button wherever you want. But for my website, I think the top left is a good option. And the next two options are related to Gutenberg users. But I'm using WordPress, so I'll leave it. And from here to the end of the box, the settings are exact same to the single product page. And the only thing that matters here is to choosing the best color and dimensions for the wishlist button. So let's try different conditions for the wishlist button. I want to show why icon only is the best option for the product list. For example, let me choose text only and see how does this perform. Please take a look at product photos. You can see the text isn't properly located, and like here text goes outside the image. And sometimes like here text covers some parts of the image that make the product image unclear. And for all these reasons, I don't recommend using text only option for the product list. But wait, text only is far better than the combination of text and icon on the product list. For example, take a look at here. It's so strange. Look at the product image. Some parts of the text goes beyond the image. And I mean, it's not necessary to use the combination of these two. When you can use a tooltip for the button, I don't think you need to use both of them on the product list. And besides, the icons like heart or save is the global symbol of wishlist, so don't bother using additional text near the button. Focus on the icon only option, and let's see what should we do for this. Again, if we choose the default theme for the wishlist button, we'll see a display for button like what we saw in the single product page. But probably if you want to design an adaptable wishlist button, you should design it manually. You can see the default button looks like this. but the color, the margins, and the total display is not what I want on my website. So let me disable this and design the wishlist button. Well, for the icon, my suggestion is to use the same icon you have used for the single product image. This means if you choose the heart icon for the single product page, also choose the heart button for the product lists. And for the button style, because we are in the product lists and the product images are a little smaller, we can lower the font size. For example, I'll choose 10 this time. And let the color be the same red that we chose. Or let me choose white and make the background red. And the hover color can be also red. Okay, the background red, background hover white, border color I don't think it's necessary. No, okay, let me try border color white and the border hover color red, like the previous options that we chose for the single product. But here the story is little different. For the button size, I think the 1 pixels for the border width is okay, but the dimensions can be smaller for the product lists based on the font size that we chose. For example, let's try 30 and see what happens with the font size 10. And here also we can add a radius for the borders to make the button circular. Like if I chose the dimensions 30, let me try 10 pixels for all of the corners. And let me change the margins if it was necessary. So let me save the settings and see whether the position is proper or not. Well, now we can see the wishlist button looks like this. I think I'm okay with the total display, but let me check it on the shop page. Here, if I zoom the web page, I think the position is actually good because you can see the sale notification appears top right and the top left is a good option. But it seems that we can lower the dimensions of the button to make it look smaller. But the overall display of the button, I think it's good and we don't have problem here. So let's get back to the settings and change the dimensions. So let me try 20 for height and width, and let me keep this on 10 and see what happens. So now you can see the button has changed to a circle that looks pretty, and I think I like this one. And let me keep these settings. But if you want to move the button a little, you can choose the margin a different number. Even my button can move a little to up or to the left, but I think it's the highest position of the button and I can only move it to the left. So let's change the margin a little and make the total display a little better. To move the button a little to the left, we should assign a negative number for the last number. So let me try -5 for the last number and see what is the outcome. Okay, I think it probably moved to the left and there is no need to change anything. So let's keep this one for the product list. Yeah, I think it's good because it doesn't cover any product image and the position is well. And to finalize the product list page, let's assign a tooltip for the button. So let me enable the tooltip. It appeared top, left or right. I think this time let's try left. And for the color and background, the same colors we have chose. And let's lower the border radius this time. 3, I think it's okay. Let's save settings and finalize the product list. Okay, I think we have set all of the needed options. Here you can see we have the tooltip and it's properly displayed and the plugin works perfect. So I think that's it for the product lists. So let's move to the next round and define custom text for different parts of the button. Okay, now we have 3 options here. Let's check each item separately. The first one is the text that is shown where the cursor moves around the button. The default text is add to wishlist, but I want to make it a little friendly. So I choose the sentence, I like this item. Okay, the next one is, instead of view my wishlist, we can say, let's change it to show my wishlist. And for the remove from wishlist, we can choose, I don't like this. Okay, I think it's good. First, let's save the settings and see what I've changed. So here we can see this sentence is shown instead of add to wishlist. Let me click on this, and now it has turned to I don't like this item. And this way you can choose any other option for the custom text. Okay, let's go to the last box and define the notification text. So for the product added, we can say the item is in your list, or even the item added to your list. And for the next one, we can say you have liked this item, or we can say you have added this item. And for the product removed, we can use item instead of product, because for the other settings we use the term item. And the last item is related to when you make the login compulsory for the wishlist. Here you can change the default terms for the login notification, but I think it's okay and I don't need to change it. So let's save it and see the final changes. So let me again add or remove a product. So you can see the notification has changed, and let me add again. You can see the term, the item is added to your list. But it's better to use a text that ends in one line. It may take time for visitors to read the notification. But for now, I think we have covered all of the settings about designing the wishlist button. Today we're here to learn how to design a great wishlist page that makes customers share and buy their wishlist items. If you're ready, let's get into it. To start designing our wishlist page, first we should go to Wishlist Plugin settings. And from several tabs here we should open Wishlist Page tab. In this tab you can see we have different boxes that is related to page settings, table settings, and other options that we have on the wishlist page. In the first box we should do basic settings of the wishlist page. The first option enables you to choose a page that you want wishlist to be located. As you can see in the tooltip, it says wishlist page needs to be selected so the plugin knows where it is. You should choose it upon installation of the plugin or create it manually. Well, I think it's pretty simple. For my website you can see I have 3 main pages, that is about, home and wishlist. And good for me, my website has a wishlist page already. But if your website doesn't have a wishlist page, you can click on this link to create a new page for wishlist. And it will probably appear here. And because I had it already, I didn't need to create a new page. And except these pages, you have another option too. You can copy this shortcode and place it wherever you want on your website. Well, if I open my website to show you, you can see on my website I have different places like sidebar, front bar, or header that I can place the wish list. For example, if this is my shop page, I can place the wish list here. To do this, I should customize the page. For example, I want to place it near the product categories. To do this, I should add a new widget on a new block. Let me paste the shortcode. And here you can see the wish list appears here. That if I add any product to the wish list, we can see it appears here in the wish list. Although it seems a cool idea to place the wish list here, but I prefer to have a separate page for the wish list, and I think the wish list counter is a better choice than placing the wish list here. So let's leave it here and try to add a separate page for the wish list. Okay, I have selected the wishlist page. Now we should define a title for the wishlist page. The tooltip says enter a name for the wishlist. This is a wishlist that will be automatically generated for all users. I think the default name is okay, but you can choose other options like favorite items or liked products. But I think the word wishlist is the global sign of visitors' favorite products. Let this word remain in the wishlist title. But if you insist to change the default title, you can choose a name based on the other pages on your website. For example, I have my account on the main menu, so I can add a word my before the wishlist to make it my wishlist for the title. And I think it's okay. At least we have changed a little. But the next option seems a little interesting. We should define where the plugin remove an item from people's wishlists. We have 4 options here. The first option says never remove a product from the wishlist. It means you are saying to the plugin that if the user adds it to the cart or buy it or whatever, do not remove the product from the wishlist at all. The next item says if the user added the product to the cart, the plugin automatically removes the product from the wishlist. This one may be used sometimes. The next one that I think is the best one is purchase completed. It means after the user buys a product, the plugin removes the item from the wishlist. I think it's the most reasonable option from the 4 items because it forces the user to buy the product. If else, he or she will always see the item in the wish list and always thinks about buying the product as soon as possible. So let me choose this one. But let me try one of them to show you how it works. I try add it to the cart. Let me save the settings and see the changes. Okay, if we review the website, we can see the wishlist name has changed to my wishlist, and from the wishlist counter we can see we have added 1 product to our wishlist. Let's see the wishlist page from here. You can see we have an add to cart button here. If I click on this, you can see here that the product goes to the cart and automatically removes from the wishlist page. Here it is added to the cart, but the wishlist now is empty. For the other options, the same process will be passed. Like if the purchase is completed or the user is doing the purchase, you can select that the product removed from the wishlist. My choice is the purchase completed. Okay. The next option is redirect to the cart. Let's see what's its point. It says it works only for the add all to cart button. Let's try this option and see what happens. If I go to the shop page again and add some items to the wish list and see how the setting works. Okay, let's go to the wishlist page. So while that option is turned on, if I click on this add all to cart button, we should be directed to the cart page. Well, you can see clicking the add all to cart button will redirect us to the cart page and we are ready to complete our purchase. And in this way we can persuade them to do the buying process more quickly. Okay, let's get back to the settings and let this option be on. The next item refers to sharing option for the wishlist. You can see if the option remains on. We have a box here for the share settings. But if we deactivate this option, you can see the box disappears, and I suggest to never turn off this option because it's a great way to generate more leads for your website. And the last item is about login notice. This option is also a help for lead generation. This option forces people to sign up to your website, and in this way you can generate more customers for your website. If I let it on, you can see we have a box here for the login notice options. But if I turn this off, we can see this box also disappears, and it's fun. Let's turn off both options and you can see the scroll bar gets bigger and bigger and all of the boxes are disappearing. But I think both items are great ways to attract more customers for your website. We will discuss each settings in their related box. So let's get to the next box and start setting our table. We should define which options to be shown on the wishlist table. Let me show you on the website. Okay, we haven't any product on the wishlist. Let me add some products. So I will open the my wishlist and look at the space above the share option and behind the my wishlist title. Here is the table for your wishlist page. It contains add to cart buttons, items, item names, and other options that you can choose to be shown. So let's check what is the empty wishlist content. It refers to the time when customers haven't added any product on the wishlist and you want to show a message to them that says you have no item on your wishlist. Well, the default content is you have not added any products to your wishlist. I prefer to simplify the sentence and easily type your wishlist is empty. Well, that was easy and I think it's okay to be shown on the empty wishlist table. However, you can add additional media to the empty wishlist content. For example, I can place the text in the middle and put the image lower than the text. So let me move the text and choose a bigger font, for example heading 2 for the text. Here you can upload any image you want to the empty wishlist content. Here you can see the image is added and I can place the image in the middle too. Now you can change the size or crop the image, but let me see how these settings will perform on the website. Okay, now let's go to the website and refresh the shop page. Here let me remove these items to see the empty wishlist. Okay, you can see the empty wishlist content here. Here we have 2 images. It's probably because I've added another image behind the first image. Let me check. Here you can see, yes, I have added a secondary image to the empty wishlist content. But you should keep your eye on the size and placement and font of the text and image based on what you need on your website. Okay, now I think we don't need the images. Let's remove them. I just wanted to show you how the images and add media works. And I think the text only is a good option for the empty wishlist content. Let's go to the items show for wishlist. Here we can see we have several items to be shown on the wishlist table. I want to show you, let me again add some products to the wishlist. You can see I'm a huge fan of hoodies. And again, if I go to the my wishlist, you can see we have already some options shown on the wishlist table like checkboxes or item name, the price, add to cart button. Here we can choose any item we want to be shown or not to be shown on the table. But for explaining better, let me show you the documentation. And open the table settings. Here in the items shown for wishlist, you can see every item is explained and shown in the image here. Number 1 is the checkboxes. It refers to this box that you can see here. Number 2 is product name. Obviously we need the product name because it's one of the basic features of the product. The third one is product review. It's related to the score that viewers give to the product. You can choose whether you want to show it or not. The next one is product image. Absolutely we need the product image. Again, it's one of the basic features. Number 5 is product variation selected by the user. It is related to some filters you can add to the wishlist table that will categorize the products by some options like size or color or other characteristics. We can have this item, but it's not necessary. Number 6 is product price. We have no doubt here that we should have the product price. Number 7 is quantity. You can see the number near the add to cart button. It shows the number of items you want from each product. Number 8 is related to out of stock products. It's another complementary option, but I think it would be necessary to show whether the product is available or not. The next one is date on which the product added to the wish list. Really, I think it's an unnecessary option that if you want to show all of the options, you can check it, but I don't recommend. Number 10 is add to cart button for each product. One of the most important options for any wishlist page. And the last one is button to remove the product from the wishlist. And again, I think it's a necessary option. The users should have the ability to remove any product they don't like. Okay, let's get back to the settings. Let's see which options we can check or uncheck on the website. If we analyze the table, we can see here we can have out of stock option. Actually, you can use all of the features, but I think the product review is unnecessary. The variations, I think it may distract the users, but I think I need the quantity and also product stock, and I don't want date on which. And okay, I think it's okay. And button to remove, yes, I want this too. I mean, product review or variations may not be that handy. Okay, on the next setting, we can see what to show under the wishlist table. We have two options here. In this side, we have add all to cart button, and on the other side, we have the action buttons. We have options like add to cart or remove on this action box. I think both of them are good options and will become handy in different situations. And here we can see the view mode. We have two options for it, list and grid. Again, if we open the documentation and see the explanation, we can see the first mode is list and the next mode is grid. That I think it's an attractive view mode. I really want to activate the grid mode, and until here we can see some settings have been changed. Let's save these settings and see the performance. Okay, if we refresh the wishlist page, we can see the wishlist table has changed to the grid mode, and I think it's an attractive style for the wishlist table. Again, here we can see we have all the features we have selected on the wishlist items. But in the grid mode, some options have changed, like the checkboxes. But I think the total display of the wishlist table is beautiful, especially for websites with attractive images or other websites that sell decorative products. In those cases, the grid view mode will be a perfect option for the wishlist table. And let's see what other options we have added. Add to cart button and other settings. Okay, of course all of these products are in stock, but if one of your products is out of stock, it will show the out of stock text under the image. Okay, let's get back to the settings. Now we have, for the wishlist template, we have an option that enables you to choose default template. If we turn this on, all of other settings of the wishlist style will disappear. First, let's see the default template in the documentation. I think if you choose that option, this is the default template that will be shown on each website by the wishlist plugin. But I personally prefer to design the wishlist template on my own. Therefore, I should define the color and size and other options for the wishlist buttons and text. Again, if I open the documentation, you can see this option is related to the add to cart button style that is located in the wishlist table. First, we should define the text color, next background color, and other options like borders. Okay, if you look carefully on the website, you can see all of the cards are designed in a red background and white text. So let's integrate the wishlist page buttons with other buttons on the website. Let me get back to the settings. I want to choose the text color white, but the hover color, I think red is the perfect option. For the font size, I will use one of the great features that the plugin provides. I use inherit option to let plugin choose the best font for me. Now we should define the background colors. As we have a white text, we should choose the background red, and we should choose white for the background hover, and the border colors we can change the same settings. It was pretty simple, huh? The next one is also easy. For the border, we can make it rectangle or give a little border to the button to make the shape different. Let me choose 3 pixels for the border width. Let's increase the border radius to something like 15. And the height, I think it's okay. Now let's save the settings and see the changes until here. If we get back to the website and refresh, here we can see some changes in the wishlist table. The add to cart button have borders now, and the font has changed. The hover color you can see, but here we should add a border hover for the wishlist button. But other options, I think they're okay. The hover is activated for all of the buttons, and I think the total changes are okay. So let's get back to the settings. We have 4 remaining options. Let's check the first one. Add to cart button styling. Let's see what does it show. It says if we turn off this setting, the changes we have selected will apply to all of the buttons except add to cart. The next one is quantity field style. The quantity field style is related to this item. It says if we turn this option on, the changes will apply to this item too. But I think I want to deactivate this because the total display is getting too much red. And the pagination style says theme settings are used for pagination. By activating this section, coordinate it with the wishlist page style. This option is related to the integration between wishlist page and your website theme. Let's leave it on. I think it won't bother us. And the last settings are related to wishlist item styles. Again, if I open the documentation and show you what does it mean, you can see these options are mainly related to the items and their display in the wishlist table. The first option is related to thumbnail background color. Thumbnail background means here. On my website, it's not difference between white and no color because both of them will lead into white color. Grid border color, it refers to this border. I want the border color to be red. And for the radius, I think if we don't give a radius for the border is better. Item background on my website, I don't think it's necessary, but you can see in the documentation that shows this space that is most shown in the list mode. We also can have separator color. We should add a separator under the table for grid mode. Here I will choose red for the separator color. Okay, this box is finished. Let's save the settings and see the results. If we get back to the website and refresh the page, you can see some changes here. First is the separator we have chose. We have border colors now and the radius is turned off. And also the items don't have any background color. Also you can see the quantity style is not applied anymore. That I think it's perfect because it removes the monotone display that the wishlist table has. Here you can see the separator is turned on, but I think we should remove the separator because the border and the separator overlaps and it may show a bad display for the wishlist table. So let's turn off the separator for the grid mode. It's okay, let's go to the next box that is related to login notice. This option is a perfect tool for lead generation. Here in the first option, we should choose a content for the login notice. We should write a text that warns users to sign up or log into the website. Well, the default text is warning you will lose your wish list if you do not sign up or log into your account right now. You will probably lose your list after leaving the site. Okay, what do you think would be a good text for creating FOMO? I think we should use a phrase that forces people instead of using an if clause. So I want to remove the if you do not phrase and turn it into sign up or log into your account right now. And before the you will probably, we can add the word otherwise. And let's delete the probably. And after leaving the site, I think it's not necessary, let's delete it. And change the list to wish list. I think the whole sentence is okay and creates a good fear of missing out for users. So let's go to the next option and design the buttons. If I open the login notice page of the documentation, here we can see we have some options for the buttons, including login button, sign up button, and a custom URL that you can add. Get back to settings, and for the login button, I think login and sign up are general text and they're okay. But for the background, let's do the same process for the login buttons. I will choose the background color red, the hover color white, text color white, and text hover color also red. Border radius 2, I think we can choose 3. And the button link is login. Yeah, it's okay. For the sign up, let's do the opposite colors. We use white for background, background hover red, text color red, and text hover color also white. And for the radius we choose 3. The button link is sign up, it's okay. And we can also add a new button for a custom URL. For example, I'll choose the word more convert. I want to add our website link. And for the background, I want to use a template same as the more convert website theme. So let's choose orange for the background. The background hover white is okay. Text color is also white. And the text hover color also orange. For the border radius, let's choose the same number and choose a custom link for the button. For the URL, you can add any address you want in this box. And the last option is background color. For the background color, the plugin suggests you to choose red, orange, or yellow. Let's choose red and see how would this perform. Let's save the settings. Okay, here the plugin says we should enter a valid URL. I think it means we should add a complete URL that includes the HTTP word, and I think it's valid enough. Let's save it and see the changes. Okay, let's go to the wish list. To see the login notice, we should first log out of the website. So let's go to the wish list, and my wish list is empty, so let me add some products to the wish list. We can see the warning appears, but it's a total mess. I mean, the background color fades the first sentence, and also the login button has the same background, and the total display is completely unacceptable. So I think it's not necessary to have a background color, but let me check this custom URL that we have added. It directs us to the website we have added. So what we have to do is to remove the background color and see the real performance. So let's get back to the login notice box and clear the background color for the login notice. And the other options, I think they're okay. Let's again save and see the result. Okay, we can see the total display of the notice is far better, and you can see our buttons, login, sign up, and custom URL. But you can modify other settings that you think it's necessary. For example, I can add a different background for the sign up button because the website background is white and my sign up background is also white. Or I can add another color for the background and change the button colors, or select the same colors for the buttons. It depends on your favorite style. So let's get back to the settings and let's do the final box that is related to the share settings. Here we should define the performance of the share buttons that are placed under the wishlist table. So let's scroll up to the page settings. I want to show something. To enable the sharing option for our wishlist, we should turn on this option. If we deactivate this option, you can see the the options related to the share settings will disappear from the plugin. So let me activate this and modify the details of the share settings. First, we should define which social medias you want to enable the sharing option for. Facebook, it's obviously the biggest platform of social medias. Let's check this. Facebook Messenger, I think it's not that common as before. I want to uncheck this. Twitter is a good platform to share this. WhatsApp is also the most popular messenger. Telegram is also a growing social media. I think it's a unique option to have on the share settings. I think the email is more like a formal method for doing stuff. And let me uncheck this. It's not necessary. And share link, it's a basic option for sharing, and let it remain. Now we should define a title for when people share their wish list. The default text is my wish list on the title of your website. My website is online shop. I think we can remove the website name and change the sentence to something more friendly, like take a look at my wish list. And the last one is sharing a style. So here we should define the color and the hover color for the social media icons. Social color, I think it's okay because my website background is white and a dark color would perform well. And hover color, I don't think it is necessary. Let's clear the hover color. So let's try these colors for the social icons and see the performance. If we get back to the website and refresh to see the sharing icons, some icons have been deleted, for example Facebook Messengers or email, and we have Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, Telegram, and the sharing link. Now let's try one of these options and see how will they perform. For example, Twitter. Here you can see the title is what we chose on the plugin. Take a look at my wishlist, and the link under the title will direct people to your wishlist on the website. Okay, I think we have covered all of the necessary settings for the wishlist page and share settings. And in conclusion, you're the boss. You can choose whatever you want based on your website and your favorite style. For example, maybe the list mood would be better to perform on your website, or the color of the add to cart button, or the login notice, the sharing title, background colors, all of them is based on what you want on your website. Today we're here to learn how to add, design, and locate a perfect counter for our wishlist plugin. If you're ready, let's get into it. Well, as always, first we should go to the wishlist plugin settings. And in the settings, we should open the counter tab. Here you can see a box for wishlist product counter that contains lots of settings and items to customize the wishlist counter. If I show a preview of how wishlist counter works, you can see it's like a button on the website menus that shows a summary of people's favorite items. First, we should choose a menu for counter to be displayed. For my website, the menus are shown here. If I try to show you the menus on my website, here, for example, you can see this is the main menu of my website, and the other menus are located at the bottom of the website, like for him, for her, and quick links. Now we should choose a menu to locate the wishlist counter. Probably you will accept the fact that the best place for the wishlist counter is somewhere near the header of the website, because it has the most visibility, and although we can locate it in other menus, but it will not give us the best outcome. You know what? Let's try the worst place for the wishlist counter. So let me place the wishlist counter in the For Him menu. Save the settings and see how the wishlist counter is shown on the website. Okay, let me open and refresh the website to see where does the counter locates. The wishlist counter is placed here. I mean, the worst place you can think of. Imagine a user opens our website. The first place they see is the upper half of the website. I mean, there is a chance that even customer doesn't scroll to the end of the website. For my website, even the color and the shape of the wishlist counter is bad, and I'll need to fix this. So let's try to go to the settings and select the main menu for wishlist counter. And let me save the setting. Okay, here you can see our wishlist counter is located near the add to cart counter. Now you can change the position of the counter in the menu you have selected. You can put it here after the add to cart or before it or wherever you want. This is well explained in the wishlist documentation. Let me open this and scroll to the counter position. Here you can see we should choose a number for the counter position. Based on the number of counters and buttons you have on the menu, you should choose a number to change the position of the counter. For example, here with 3 buttons, we have 100, 200 and 300. The positions are well explained here, but let's try a different choice because the regular positions are shown in the documentation. I prefer somewhere for the counter that is well shown and separated from other elements of the menu. So I'll add a minus behind the 100 and we'll see how the wishlist counter position changes. Okay, now let's see where is our wishlist counter. You can see it's moved to the left area of the menu because wishlist and add to cart counter are positioned on different sides of the menu and they are well shown. So this was like a creative method to locate the wishlist counter, but we have other options to position the counter. For this you can use shortcodes. For example, if I want to use this shortcode, I'll just need to copy and choose a place to paste the wishlist shortcode and locate it there. So let me customize the web page. Okay, we have several options to locate the counter. For example, let's try here. So I'll try to add a new block to the sidebar, and here I will paste the shortcode. Here you will see that the wishlist widget appears. Now, based on what you prefer, you can move it upper or lower to find the perfect position for the wishlist counter. But I personally prefer to locate the counter somewhere near the add to cart counter because I think there would be the most recognizable place for the counters. So I will exit here and choose the default number, that is 100, for the wishlist counter position. Okay, now we should choose our wishlist counter icon. As I chose save item for the product page and product list, I prefer to use the same icon for the wishlist counter, so I choose save from here. Now let's go to the other settings. We should choose whether we want to show our wishlist counter text or not. Here you can see if the counter text is turned off, you won't see any text near the icon. But let me turn this on and check how this changes. And for the text, let's go with the default text. Honestly, I don't think it's a good idea to put the text near the wishlist counter. Here we can see the icon has changed and we have a text near the icon, and this number probably shows the total favorite products for the customer. Now here we can change the counter text, but it is better to use counter without text because add to cart counter doesn't have a text, and if you choose icon only, it gives the menu a better harmony. So I turn off the counter text. In this option for the number of favorite products, customers can see total products they have added to their wish list. If we choose not to show, let me show you in the documentation. Here we can see a number near the counter icon and also in the drop down for the mini wish list. But if we choose not to show, some additional settings also disappear. But I prefer to show my customers how many products they have added to their wish list. In the next option, we can choose if they haven't added any product to their wish list. Do you want the counter to show the 0 number or not? Okay, I think because the add to cart counter shows the 0 value, I can choose it for wishlist counter to show it too. For the next item, we should define the position of the number shown in the counter. Again, if I open the documentation, you can see we have 4 positions to locate the number near the wishlist counter. In my website, I believe because the add to cart counter and the number are connected together, it would be best to choose the same pattern for the wishlist counter. So I prefer to choose top right for the wishlist counter number. And the next option is related to drop down. Let me save the changes we have made already and see the performance on the website. Okay, we have some changes here. You can see the icon is saved and the number is shown on the top right of the icon. And to check the 0 value, if I delete these items from the wish list, here you can see the 0 value is clearly shown. And it follows the same pattern like the add to cart counter. Okay, now I think we can go to the next items, but first let me change the 0 value option. I think I'm into hiding the 0 value rather than showing it because this probably makes them to check the wishlist counter more often to assure that they haven't added any product to their wishlist. It's an unfair trick, but I think I need it on my website. Okay, let's go to the next option. This option is related to mini wishlist. Let's check what does it mean by mini wishlist in the documentation. Well, the documentation says by checking this option, the counter drop-down will be shown when you click on the counter icon. This setting says if we turn this on, we can see a preview of the wish list when clicking the counter. So it seems a good option and let's leave it on. For example, on the website, let me add this product and see the preview on the mini wish list. And this is the drop down that contains the favorite products for the customers. Let's get back to the settings. And the next one enables customer to see the mini wish list when hovering the counter. I mean, if you move the cursor on the counter, a mini wish list automatically is displayed. But I think it may bother the customers sometimes and it is better to turn it off. And this one defines the maximum number of products shown in the mini wish list. I'm in here in the drop down. Now we have 1 item, but you can choose as many as you want. Let me check the documentation to be sure. Yes, as we can see here, it doesn't limit the number to anything. And here, for example, we can choose any number we want. But if you choose a high number, the total display of the mini wishlist won't be attractive. Let me, for example, choose 8 and see the performance of the mini wishlist. Okay, here if we refresh the website and add 8 or more products to the wish list, which will be perfect for us if any customer do this, and see the performance of the mini wish list, we can see the total display of the mini wish list isn't what we want on our website. I mean, some of the products on the web page is covered by the mini wish list, and you can see an add to cart button is shown on the wish list, and I mean, it's not really what we want to show to our customers. On my website, I think if the mini wish list end here, it would be the best display. And to do this, I think I will choose 3 items for the maximum number of products. So let me choose 3 and go to the next item, which is wishlist link position in the mini wishlist. If we check on the website, we can see the wishlist link is placed in the end and after the items, but I personally prefer to show it before the products. But really it's not many difference between after or before, and you can select either of them. Okay, the next options are related to counter and mini wishlist, style, color, design, and other settings. We should select options like color, borders, radius, and other options. But first let's save settings that we have selected till here and see the performance on the website. Okay, here on the website, let's see the changes. If I click on the counter, you can see the mini wishlist is shown. This is the wishlist button that moved before the products, and the number of products is 3. But we can customize other options. Like here, if I hover the mouse on the wishlist link, you can see the color changes, or the border and the radius, the background color. We can change all of them. And I think we can change another option, that is the maximum number of products. I think we can lower it again and select 2 for the maximum number. For example, if I delete this item, let's see. Okay, it almost fits the web page, but we can change, for example, the height of the wishlist button or some other changes to make the size perfect. But let's go to the settings. First, we should change the counter style. For the icon color, I think because we have a black theme for the add to cart counter, it would be best to choose the same color for the wishlist counter. And plus we have a dark background for the number shown on the add to cart, so let's choose the same dark color for the wishlist counter. Although it can remain red because it matches the website theme. But the icon size, I think it can get bigger to match the add to cart counter. Okay, let's leave the icon color to black and change the number background color to something dark. Really not that dark as the DC universe. We need something lighter compared to the icon color. I think it's good. And for the icon size, let me try 25 pixels and leave it and go to the mini-wish style options. First one is for the background color. Here you can see it is the background color, and here is the border, and this little corner is related to the border radius. Okay, for the background color, if we want something compatible to the website theme, let's leave it. I think white is okay. For the border color, we can choose either black or red. I prefer red. For the border radius, what do you think? I think we can choose a higher number, like I think 20 would be good. And the next one is button colors. If we see the button color, you can see the hover color and the button color is different, and we can modify them. For the text color, I think white would be good option because it matches the add to cart or add to wishlist buttons on the website. And the hover color red would be good to make it something like the other buttons. The background color, as we have a white text color, let's choose red. And for the same reason, let's choose a white color for the background hover. Let's choose the border based on the background color. I think white would be good. And for the border hover, we have white background hover, so let's try red to make a contrast between the colors. So for the button sizes, what should we do? Here you can see the font size for the button. I think we can make it larger, or we can lower the height of the button to match the font size. And also we can give the button a border radius to make the shape something circular. And to do this, we can delete the border radius of the mini wishlist to make it a rectangle. This way the wishlist button displays more powerful. To do this, here we choose the border radius for the mini wishlist 0, but here we choose a larger border radius, for example 25. And the border width, which is related to here, I think it's not very important to us, but I can choose a number like 3. And for the button height, I think we can lower it to something like 30, and for the text size 15 pixels, I think it's okay to be shown in the 30 pixels height. So let's go to the last items, which are related to the text which is shown in the mini wishlist. One of them is here and the other one is here. Honestly, you can leave it here because the default text are good, but I prefer to change it something like go to wishlist. And for the total products, as it shows the number of the favorite products, let's mention the number in the text. Okay, I think it's good, and we can see the final settings to check if any other change is needed or not. So let me refresh the website and see the changes. Well, okay, I think our icon size got really big, and the other change we should do is to make the background color for the number a little lighter to display the number clearly. And let's see the mini wishlist style. We can see we have no border radius, but we have a border color. The background remains white, and the hover color changed perfectly. And also the total products text has changed. But I think we still can change the wishlist button to fit the font and the button better, and even give a higher border radius to make it complete circle on the both sides of the wishlist button. Okay, here we have two options. Either we can change height of the button, or we can use a creative method. I mean, we can leave the button height and change the font size to inherit command, and let the plugin choose the best font. Border width, I think it's okay, but the border radius, let's make it even higher to something like 40. I think 40 pixels would be a good display. And also don't forget the background color for the number. Let's make it lighter and happier as the Marvel universe. I think here it's good. And also icon font size, it's really big. And we should change it, I think, to the previous number. So let's choose 15 pixels. And I think we have made all of the needed changes. So let's save the settings and see the final display of the wishlist counter. Okay, let's refresh and see the wishlist counter. You can see the icon size has changed to the default size. And here the plugin chose the best font size for the wishlist button. And you can see the borders got a circular shape that I think are smooth and perfect. But if you are a perfectionist and want everything in the best mood, you can change the maximum number of products to 1. And I think that would be a silly choice, because the function of the mini wishlist is to show a preview of the favorite products. So I think it's okay, and we don't need any other changes to the wishlist counter. And you can design the mini wishlist style and colors based on your website theme and your personal choice. I think it's okay. We have a good counter for our website that doesn't need basic changes and is ready to use. Today we're here to learn how to start an email automation plan using our wishlist plugin. If you're ready, let's get into it. To start an email automation, first we should open the marketing section from the MC Wishlist plugin. Here you can see the MC Marketing Toolkit. For now, the plugin offers 2 separate tools. One of them is email automation and the other one is email campaign. Well, the email campaign is enabled only for the premium users, but all users can use the email automation tool. So let me open this and check how it works. Okay, this is the total display of the email automation tool. This is the main table that shows the details of automation plans. And for starting a new automation, we should click on the new automation button. Okay, this is the first step of email automation setup. In the first setting, we should define a name for our automation plan. You will see in the future steps that we should define a discount type and some special products for the automation. These 2 factors can be a good help to categorize each email automation and choose a name for each one. And a combination of these 2 factors would be a great choice for the automation name. For example, in this email automation, I want to focus on hoodies, and I like to offer a fixed cart discount to customers. So I can choose my automation name, hoodies dash fixed cart. Okay, the next option is asking whether we want to activate this automation or not. The plugin says at the moment only 1 email automation can be active. Fair enough, I want to activate this. From name, you can choose any name you want. Here it is online shop because my website name is online shop. But I can change it to, for example, I want to type more convert. For the email address, you should add the email that you want to send email automation from. it would be better to choose a business email for this section. It will have a better influence on your customers. Like here, I want to add a business email for this section. And the last one is for defining an email template for the automation. The plugin offers 3 different templates for the email. The first one is plain, the next one is HTML WooCommerce, and the last one is MC template. Let's review each template and let's see which one would be your favorite. Plain email template that contains a simple text and a call to action and nothing more. And HTML WooCommerce also doesn't have too much difference in comparison. It uses the WooCommerce template for emails and has a good integration with WooCommerce. Okay, let's get back to the settings. Both of them are available, but I want to introduce you to a very attractive option, that is MC template. With this option, we can customize the display of our email template. The first thing we should add is the logo of our website. If your website doesn't have a logo yet, you can add a typography of your website address and upload it here. Let's get to the avatar image. For avatar, you should upload an image of your email sender to show on the email. So the plugin suggests that the avatar should belong to the sender. However, you have different options to choose the avatar you want. Here you can see the different options you have for the avatar image. The first one is to use the real face of the sender. If you choose a portrait image, it would be great. The next option is using a cartoonized face. You can cartoonize your real face with some softwares and get a cartoonized face of yourself. And the next one is using pre-designed avatars. These avatars are available on the internet. You can use websites like Freepik, Shutterstock, or other websites that provide graphical contents. It may not be exactly similar to the sender's face, but it's a usable option. Or in my opinion, you can use Heisenberg for your avatar image. If you say his name, I will get back to the settings. Okay, for the avatar image, I will use a cartoonized face. And for the sender's name, try to write first and last name of the real sender of emails. And role of email sender could be anything. It could be customer manager or content manager or even the website owner. Whatever you think would be the better choice. And the last 3 options are for the senders or your website's social medias. Here we have 3 major medias, that is Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And you may not be active on all of these medias. It's okay, just fill the media you're active right now. Okay, here I've added the social media links and I'm ready to go to the next step. The next step is conditions. In this section, you can specify under what conditions automatic emails will be sent to your users. The first option is sending cycle. This marketing will resume after these days only if customer adds a new product to the wishlist. Here it says we should define a number of days that when users add new product to their wish list, the automation plan starts automatically for that user. And in the continue it says otherwise customers won't receive any automatic emails. It says if a user doesn't add any new product to their wish list, this cycle won't be activated. So let's define a period for the sending cycle. I think I want to start the cycle every month, and for this I should write 30 for this. And the next option is minimum price of total wishlist items. Let's see what the toolkit says. Your user's wish list must have the minimum total price entered. If the total price of the user's list is less than this number, emails won't be sent to the users. Okay, it says if the total value of their wishlist items exceed this number we are choosing, the automation plan will automatically start for that user. Okay, the currency is US dollar, and I think based on my product's price, an amount between 700 and 800 is good. So let me choose, for example, 750. Okay, for the minimum number of products on the wish list, it says the number of products in your user's wish list must be equal or greater than your choice number to send emails to. Okay, it's pretty obvious. For example, if you choose the number 3 for this option and the user adds 3 or more items to their wish list, the marketing automation automatically starts for that user. So based on my website's product, because it's a clothing website and people usually don't want more than 3 different types of clothes, so I will choose, for example, 3. And the last one is include at least one of these products. It says your user's wish list must include at least one of these selected products to emails will be sent. Okay, you remember that I choose the name of the automation based on hoodies and fixed cart discount. So I want to add all of my hoodies on this part. So let's search hoodie and add all of the results to the section. Okay, I've added these 4 hoodies and I think we can go to the next step. Okay, we're in the 3rd step of the automation settings, that is coupon options. The first option is discount type. It says specify the type of discount you offer in terms of percentage or fixed price. Well, here we have 3 types of discounts that are percentage discount, fixed cart discount, and fixed product discount. Let's take a quick review to these discount types. Okay, I've provided an example for each type of discount. The first one is percentage discount. This one is given to a product or service as an amount per 100. For example, if your total purchase cost $100 and I give you a 20% discount, you will save $20 and the total cost of your purchase would be $80. The next one is fixed cart discount, that is applied as a total discount for the entire cart. For example, if your cart contains 3 t-shirts that each one costs $20, the total price of your cart would be $60. But if I give you a coupon for $10, you will save this amount and the total cost of your purchase would be $50. And the last one is fixed product discount, which is a total discount for selected products only. In this one, customer receives a set amount of discount per item. For example, imagine I've added a fixed discount for 1 t-shirt on my website. If you add 3 of them to your cart and each one costs $20, your total cost would be $60. If the discount is, for example, $10, you will get $10 off for each t-shirt. That will result in a $30 off. Now you can choose your favorite type of discount, but in my case, because I wanted to choose a fixed cart discount and choose the name based on this type, I will select fixed cart discount. The next option is related to coupon amount. We should specify the amount of discount in this section. And in percentage mode, we should enter the percentage instead of amount. Okay, based on the conditions we defined in the previous step And I think for the minimum amount of $750, it would be good to choose at least $50 off for the discount. And for the free shipping, if you choose this option, shipping the purchased products will be free and no cost will be deducted from the customer. Plugin says check this box if the coupon grants free shipping. A free shipping method must be enabled in your shipping zone and be set to require a valid free shipping coupon. Set the free shipping required settings. In my case, because the discount amount is high enough, I think I don't want to add free shipping to the discount. But if you want to allow free shipping, you can lower the discount amount and provide the free shipping offer for the customers. The next one says check this box if the coupon cannot be used in conjunction with other coupons. I think I need to check this one because this option will stop customers to use this coupon with other coupons they have. For example, if they have a 30% off and $50 off, I think not only they have to pay anything, but also we should give them something. So let's check this one. The next one says check this box if the coupon should not apply to items on sale. I think it's pretty obvious that we should check this one because this one has the same result as the previous option and it will prevent us from the bankruptcy. The next one is coupon expiry after days. That shows how many days will the coupon remain available for the customers. I think 1 week is a good option. And for the user restriction, coupon work just for their account email. And here, if you restrict users, coupon work just for their account email. If you want to focus on lead generation and attracting more people to your website, maybe this option would be good for you. But if your focus is to sell more items, uncheck this. And the last one says delete the coupon. If you choose this option, the discount will be automatically deleted. Okay, I think it's a great option and I want to check this because the plugin do the rest for me. Now we're ready to go to the last step, that is email design options. In this section, you can see information about each of the emails. Here we can see we have different emails that each of them belongs to a specific objective. You can see the subjects are different. One of them is check it out. The other one is deal you've been waiting for. And they also are sent in different periods, 1 day, 3 days. And you can personalize each one with the manage button. So let's work on the first one. Here says specify sending time and content of email here. First, we should define send this email after days. After how many days will this email be sent? Enter the number of days. If you want the email to be sent as soon as products are added to the wish list, enter 0. Okay, the plugin suggests that we type 0 for this. In the next option, we should define the email heading. The default heading is check it out. If we leave it blank, the default heading would be there is a deal for you. And here we can use several placeholders, username, user first name, email, last name, and other placeholders. What do you think we can choose instead of check it out? Because this email should be sent right after the products are added to the wish list, we want to show a feeling of excitement or fear in the heading. So we can type something like you're on roll. And to make it more friendly, we can use the user first name instead of username. For the email subject, the default text is check it out. But if we leave it blank, the default subject would be product of your wishlist is on sale. And you can see the placeholders available for the text, but it's not really what we have chose on the conditions. Because we have added a fixed card discount for the automation, we can deliver a message about the cart. For example, like complete your purchase with less money. And for the placeholder, we can use, let's delete it and do not use any placeholder. I think the sentence is enough. Now we should edit the HTML email content. Here you can see the full text. Hi, I'll keep this short to make the 19 seconds it's take to read this worth your times. Yes, I timed it. If you remember you were interested in some of our products which are still on your wish list, would it be helpful if we send you the wishlist link? Thinking about the specific result achieved after the purchase, so finalize your purchase. Thanks so much for your attention. Regards, site name. Okay, I think the whole concept to make the content friendly is good, but I think we should change some sentences here. Let's go to the first sentence. I want to change the hi to hey and the username placeholder to user first name. The second sentence, I'll keep this short to make this idea is okay and I find it funny. Let's keep this. If you remember you were interested in some of our products. Okay, here, because the focus of the discount is on hoodies, let's mention the hoodies in the email content. Let's change this to in one of our hoodies. In the third line, I want to change the last sentences to, do you want to review your wish list? Okay, the next sentence, do we need to change it? Here also we can personalize the sentence and, for example, say, we love to offer you $50 off if you finalize purchasing your wish list products. And let's delete the next sentence. And to make it more customized, we can add the coupon code at the end of the email. So let's type, here is your coupon. And after this, we can add the coupon code placeholder. And the other sentences, I think they're okay. But if you want to make it even more professional, you can add, for example, coupon amount instead of the number we have written. Like for this $50, I can add the coupon amount placeholder. And I think it's okay. The total display and the email and the content looks good. Here you can see another option that is test email. This option enables us to send a sample email and see the display and performance. But this one was the first email. You can manage other reminder emails. For example, you can change the send after part or define the numbers based on your expiry date. In my case, because the expiry date is 7 days, I can turn off the last one that exceeds the 7 days, and I can use the rest of the emails to build my email automation. In conclusion, I think the whole settings are okay, and now we can save the email automation and activate it. Okay, here you can see that the new automation has been added to the table. Here is the date added, name, the total, recipients, If you start the email automation, you can see the open rate and click rate and other results. And the dashboard also provides a report section for the automation. If you take a look at the reports carefully, you can see each of these boxes provides different results. The total recipients is the number of people are included in the automation plan. Send queue is for the people that are waiting to get the email, and the percentage of people that open the email, the percentage of people that have clicked on the call to action button, and finally the income you have got from the automation plan. And the next table shows these reports for each reminder email, that you can use this report to change the email content or the headings, the subjects, and personalize it better. And the last table shows the details of the automation plans that you've started. So let's get back to the toolkit. Here you have other options. For example, you can filter the active automations. It's worth to mention that in the free version, you're unable to active just one automation plan. And to start more automations, the plugin offers you a premium version that contains lots of options. Okay, I think we have successfully covered all of the things you've needed in the marketing automation section. And if you had any question or comment, please write to us. And if you find this video helpful, please share it to others. And do not forget to subscribe us. We have lots of videos about WordPress and marketing on our channel. That's it. Wish you a good day. Goodbye.